Hello everyone! I bet you know what we're going to cover today! It's Ariel! But I can't show you how to do this makeup with it already on. So as always, we're going to prime first, but if you need contacts for your character, I recommend putting those in before anything else. Otherwise, and if you would like more explanation for the products that I use, go ahead and check out the Snow White tutorial. But for the sake of everybody's time, I'm going to try and not speak to the products as much with every individual video, just in case you've watched more than one. I will also leave a product list in the description below. Now the primer should be well set. You will color correct. And of course, it's as if my skin knows that I'm trying to go out today. They give me all these lovely spots. You know, I really thought by 28 I'd be done with these things. Boy, was I wrong. Different color. So for Ariel, I do contour, and for contour I use this palette by Kat Von D. And there's of course 1,000 different ways to contour, but another makeup artist that I watch on YouTube, he uses contour under his foundation, which I found interesting, and I kind of like it. It makes it so that there's not really any harsh lines and it blends a bit nicer. So that's what I plan to do today. You can of course do it over your foundation if you want. Do it however you like. This is just how I do it. And so I'm going to use this angled brush. And I'm going to use this dark color here, which might seem crazy, but trust the process. And I start from about the top bit of my ear where it's still connected. Start from there and kind of go to the outer corner of the eye. Then I go underneath the jawline. I add a little bit around the chin to make the chin look a little small and dainty. I use a smaller brush. And I go up around the forehead because I have kind of a large forehead. And then finally I contour the nose. I'm going to use this small brush today. I don't normally use this one, but the one I normally use fell behind my dresser and I can't reach it. And try and make my nose look smaller because I have a button nose. So trying to get more of that dainty look. And I just kind of blend it out gradually. Now foundation. Be extra diligent about blending when you contour. You do not want harsh lines around here. Now if you find after you put on your foundation that a lot of your contouring has disappeared, depending on how thick your foundation is, you can always go back through and use a much lighter color and kind of bring that contour back out a little bit. But you don't need much. Especially if you're as pale as me. My skin doesn't like the sun. I don't really bother with highlight when I'm contouring. I have other makeup for that, so I'll show you that in a bit. So now we will set the foundation. Pressed powder. Big fluffy brush. So now we'll do our blush. For Ariel, I like to use a more coral shade. So I found this really nice one. It's Pearlescent Pink by Wet n Wild Coloricon. And it's got a little bit of shimmer to it, which is nice since she's a mermaid and we like shimmer on our mermaids. Pretty color. Blush brush. And so now we'll do eyebrows. I have a red lip liner. It's in Candy Apple by Palladio. And so I'm gonna use that first on my eyebrows. You could see that I brushed some of the powder off of them. And as before, I'm going to start at the outside and work my way in. Alright, so now I'm going to go through with a eyebrow brush. I'm going to blend and brush it out. So that looks a little crazy right now, but I'm going to go over them again. And this time I'm using Urban Decay's Brow Box. And this one's in Brunette Betty. But it has a couple different tones. It has a more brown tone and a more red auburn tone. So I'm going to use the red and this tiny brush that it comes with. And it's a powder, so it's going to help cover up a lot of that more gel appearance. I'm gonna go over it a bit. Just gonna make sure they're even. Okay, those look pretty good now. So we'll move on to the eyes. I've put together my interpretation of a nice eyeshadow that combines the color of Ariel's dress with this flower that I have in her hair. So it's got a nice lilac tone to it. So my eyeshadow is a combination of those colors. Okay, so first we'll start with our base color, and I'm going to use this brown again, as I did in Snow. And I'll take my crease brush. Remember to start on the outside and work your way in, so you get the most pigment where you want it. I will start with this nice shimmery color that's in my Zulu palette. I'm going to use this one first. It's just a really pretty aqua that matches the dress really nicely. Okay, now I'll go back through with this other one that's a bit more green toned. Just kind of combine them to get a nice bold color. And that brown base kind of gives it a bit of that darker shade that you need for the crease. Now we'll go through and we'll do our lilac. I'm using this palette by Hard Candy. And I'm going to use this pretty lilac here. I'm going to use my finger and get the main part of the eye here. And now I'll go in with a darker purple, a purple that's in my Masquerade. I'm going to use this nice one here, Makita. I'm going to use my pointy brush. I'm going to focus it in the outer corner of the eye. I'm going to go just a little bit into the crease, about halfway. Now we'll do our highlight. I'm going to use my little brush. Being that she's a mermaid, I'm going to use a more shimmery look. So I'm going to start with that white I usually use. And go underneath. Then I'm going to go back in a little bit with this really pretty glittery palette by Physicians Formula. Whatever shimmery white you want to use. I'm going to use this bright one here. And I'm going to just go over the highlights of the eye a little bit. And now time for underneath the eye. I'm going to start with that stronger aqua color. Just a little bit in the outer corner. Then I'm going to tie in that darker purple. And I kind of go underneath the aqua with the darker purple just a little bit. You don't have to include the aqua underneath if you don't want to. And then finally that lighter purple. Alright, so now we'll move on into our liner. I have the L'Oreal in black and the Revlon in brown. They're both liquid liners. And first I will go into the top of the eye with the black one. And the key is to have a tiny brush. I don't go too crazy with the wing because I'm not the greatest at them, so go as big or as small as you like, as you are comfortable and skilled enough to do. Now for the other liner, I'm going to go underneath the lash line. Prime the eyelashes. Here come the funny faces, brought to you by me. We'll let that dry, and then I'll go in with my white eyeliner, and I'll just go on the waterline of the eye. Now we'll do our mascara. This big one by Rimmel with a big brush for the top lashes. And I forgot to mention in my last video, in my snow video, that I do wear false lashes, so I apologize for that, but I will be putting them on for this video. And I use magnetic. I know there's a big divide out there between some ladies like magnetic, some like the classic glue-on. I struggle so much with the glue-ons, and magnetics just work for me, so use whatever ones you like. But I'm gonna put on magnetic when I'm done here. Now for the little one, for the little lashes. So while that's drying, we're going to move on to our lips. And first I'll use my lip liner by Urban Decay. And I'm just going to go around the natural lip and just very slightly outside the natural line. And Ariel doesn't have much of a bow, so I'm actually going to round this out just a little bit when I'm done. And now for the lipstick, using my favorite Col-Lab. Lips are done, so we will go back to our lashes, and I'm going to put on my magnetic lashes. And I use, do I have a box? I don't have a box. But I use Magnetic Lashes by Ardell. I found them at my local Sally's, and they're also at Walmart, and I'm sure plenty of other places. But I use wispy ones, and the ones I have are top and bottom magnetics, and so they just sandwich your lashes in between. I've seen a lot of ads lately for this magnetic lash liner, but it's crazy expensive. These are very budget friendly. And so I'll just put the top ones, and I just kind of lay them towards the outside of the lash line, and just kind of press them to the real lashes. It can be a little tricky. It takes practice, just like with normal lashes. But I still find these easier than glue. And then the bottom. And if you mess up, you can just try again. Sometimes I get them on first try, sometimes it's a couple tries. Okay, there's one side. And now I'll put on the other side. We're nearly finished. So our lashes are on, and one last thing now that eyes are done is I will put on that highlight I mentioned earlier, and I like to use this one by Lush. It's called Feeling Younger, and I just put a little dab on my finger and kind of follow this line here, and the other side. And then I will blend. That's just a bit of shimmery highlight. Let's pop these in. Pearls are very appropriate for a mermaid. And there you have it. Don't forget to spray your face with your setting spray or a hairspray, whichever you prefer to use. Quick couple of shout outs. One is for the dress is by Angel Secret. It's the P180P dress, and it is amazing. And the wig is by Fairytale Wigs, also amazing. Very budget friendly, but still gorgeous. So highly recommend those two. If you liked this video, show some love, click a like, share a comment, subscribe. It's all super uber appreciated. If there's another princess tutorial you'd like to see soon, just let me know in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching. Until next time.